Welcome back to the affirmation section of today's episode, where we're going to be covering the blue solar monkey. Get those engines revved up. Let's get into it. I pulse in order to play. We were just covering that. Realizing illusion. I seal the process of magic with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided by the power of accomplishment. The power of accomplishment is the hand, so we'll get to that in a second. I pulse in order to play, realizing illusion. What comes up for me around there, I pulse in order to play, is it's like when we find our rhythm, maybe just today's that energy, especially if we have other patterns in life where we're used to doing things full on, like, okay, we'll do this for 8 hours, or, the kind of workday vibe, the 9 to 5 vibe with maybe a little lunch break. To me, pulse represents that energy in your body where it may want to, I want to do this for a bit, and then I want to do that. Or maybe I want to take a nap. Or I want to do this. There's little pulses of things that show up. And so I pulse in order to play. It's like showing that as you get into this pulse, you're going to get into a natural kind of, not necessarily like an algorithm, a geometry, and that'll open up the play. As you come in and out of those little pulses, the energy of that play is going to really come about. And so that's how it's going to show up. And to me, it shows that there's like kind of no expectation there. I pulse in order to play. And the quality of the playfulness will contain that pulse as well. Realizing illusion. What this brings up for me, the aspect of realizing illusion, is it's like there is an illusion, to me, that in some ways is the opposite of the pulse. If we refer to the 9 to 5 reality, that illusion can represent how you model your energy and how you're used to doing things. If you come into that pulse, you may realize the illusion of the other makeup and works of energy. Because remember, the monkey is a creative embodier. And so you may be able to jump into and play with a state of embodiment. And that, in many ways, may allow you to realize the different phases of the illusion. One that you're previously participating in. And the reason I go with this is because all of reality, doesn't matter who we are, even our worldview, all of reality itself, physical laws, science, it's a collective consciousness cultivation. And so it actually has no greater density than a passing dream. And the definition of time and the gravity cultivated therein gives it a level of vast importance, which allows it to seem very, very real. But in the end, it's actually just an illusion. It's a dreamscape or a holographic kind of experience. And so I find this is also useful too in the Nightwave spell, because the Nightwave spell really gives us illumination into the aspects of things that are the dream. And the monkey allows us to playfully embody, tell those stories, get into those situations to excite the different energies within us that are part of those inner dreams, that are part of those inner identities. The monkey may be one of the only ways that we can jump out of our cultivation in those other very real illusions and begin exploring and cultivating energies in something else that you may find yourself in. Right? So I pulse in order to play, realizing illusion. And so there's a self-awareness there as well. I seal the process of magic with the solar tone of intention. And so to me, what really comes up here is you have this kind of natural recognition of energy in the illusion. And it's almost like recognizing that there's an malleability to reality itself. And so the magic is kind of like an energy of that illusion mixed with the focused intent. It becomes focused and directed. And so that creates literally like the magic. It's like there is a very magic experience because something is being more highly defined. There's the play aspect, but it becomes the real magic through the process, practice, embodiment, and recognition of intent or intention. In many ways, like in prayer culture, which I'm part of a lot of, to cast your intentions or to sit in a prayer circle and to be able to focalize and align your intent can really bring a situation into a very directly focused, directly manifested, or directly activated space. And I feel this mixes of energy here play very well together because we're in the intuitive, darker, dreamlike space in the night wave spell. We're with the monkey's imaginative, playful, illusory matrix, and we're using the power of intention there. And so this becomes something very powerful, but there's also no expectation. And so while there's a fertile playing ground, it's a playing ground, right? It's only when we get into the next couple days does it start seeming a little more initiatory, when we go through the human and we have to start really using our free will a little bit more because of those influences. And then from there on in, it's kind of like the initiatory steps of the Skywalker, which is bridging heaven and earth, right? Learning to walk the skies. And then from there on in, it's the wizard. And so the wizard is like the initiated. And then we're getting into the ego, which it can be more like the ascended. And so those energies aren't really today, but there's a theme that, for me in this descriptive aspect really started 2 days ago in the moon when we were in the neck and spine, the center of this wave spell, because it began to give rise to a level of emotional communication. And this gives rise to, and this is why I love that it's the moon, because it's also the aspect of purity, purification, cleansing. And so that emotion is the water moving. And that water moving actually is an electromagnetic field that is connecting us all. And so the dog and the monkey energy really benefit from that as it moves up to the different, more ascended forms of consciousness, as at least expressed in terminology. So yeah, and I'm guided by the power of accomplishment. Well, we're the hand today, and so the energy of healing, the energy of kind of direction, it's almost like this play allows us to experiment with the potential and learn about those potentials, and then from there on in, we can kind of take one of those potentials and say, okay, well, cool, I see like a pattern here, and so I'm going to go with something. I'm going to take that. And so there may be a direction, especially with that intention, there may be a direction that can occur, because that intention helps make things more real and more vital, more sustainable. And so that accomplishment may come from that. There may be a tag in or a seed brought to a level of accomplishment that could potentially occur, a thing that can occur, something that's finalizing itself, something that's in the middle of, however that works. And so, yeah, that whole energy kind of together. I pulse in order to play, realizing illusion. I seal the process of magic with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided power of accomplishment. I feel the process of magic wants to come out again. It's like saying that illusion, that potential becomes pure magic as we bring intention into it. I may have said something like that before, but that felt very clear. And so yeah, one last time, and then that'll be it for our affirmation. I pulse in order to play, realizing illusion. I seal the process of magic with the solar tone of intention, and I am guided by the power of accomplishment. Much love. Stay tuned for the oracle.